Women's Varsity Hockey is live and on the air as we are about to get going here. There's about 8 minutes as things are getting warmed up and ready to go. So we appreciate all of you tuning in. This is our final broadcast of the calendar year. So we're excited. And it is versus a team that is new to the the Michigan High School Girls Hockey League. It is the Greater Flint United team. So that's something that is fun to have a new team. We appreciate that out there. So we will get going in just a little bit. We'll play a few more messages from the MHSAA, and then I'll talk about their schedules and how things have gone, and we'll get going in just about 6 minutes. You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Again, we are live here at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena, where it is the Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey team with the last game of the calendar year for us. They're facing the Greater Flint United team. And let's take a look. Pioneer started off with a 8-3 win over Skyline. They then had a 4-4 draw with Washtenaw United, that back on the 8th of November. They beat Sacred Heart United 8-0. They beat Plymouth Canton-Salem 8-0. That was back on November 14th. They beat St. Clair Shores 6-0. That was back on the 16th of November. Then they had a couple tough games in a row. They lost to Livonia United 7-0. They had a competitive game versus Bloomfield Birmingham 3-1. They lost to Washtenaw United 8-1. That back on December 3rd. On December 4th, they lost to Grosse Pointe North. That was 7-6. That was a game that Grosse Pointe North had a 5-0 lead, and Pioneer fought back. It was an impressive way to try and come back in that game. Then taking a look, they lost to Mid-Michigan Alliance. That was 9-1. They beat Sacred Heart United 9-1. That was back on the 12th. And they beat Bloomfield Birmingham in the last game. That was 6-5. Taking a look at that game. Don't want that. Get that out of there. Helps when you click the right things on the iPad. It was, taking a look, 28 shots on goal for Bloomfield Birmingham, 27 for Pioneer. Bloomfield Birmingham scored 2 in the first. Pioneer scored 1 in the first, so it was 2-1 Bloomfield Birmingham lead. Both teams scored 1 in the second. Then Pioneer scored 4 in the third. Bloomfield Birmingham had 2 to have a 6-5 win. It was Dorfman who took the loss for Bloomfield Birmingham, and Soriano who took the win for Pioneer. It started off at 11:39 as Ben Ezra scored her 13th goal of the season, and she would score many more in this game. At 4:56, Heben scored her second of the season from Jof, and that made it 1-1. Then Ben Ezra's had her second goal of the game, 14th of the season, with 31 seconds left to go in the first. In the second, at 4:28, it was Pace who scored her first from the season. First assist by Heben, and that made it 2-2. And then Colissimo scored with 9 seconds left in the second to give Bloomfield Birmingham the lead, 3-2. Then at 14:15, Jof scored her fifth of the season unassisted. That tied it up at three apiece. Then Ben Ezra had her her third goal of the game, her 15th of the season at 11:36. Portinga had a shorthanded goal to tie it back up at 7:11 in the third. Then Chikachi had her third of this season, a shorthanded goal to give Pioneer the lead. Ben Ezra scored her fourth of the game, that to tie it back up at 4:36. But then at 2:27, Jolt scored her sixth of the season from Chikachi and Portinga, and that was the game-winning goal. That one was shorthanded as well. So Pioneer getting a big win there. Taking a look at Flint, they are 5-5-2. They beat Downriver United to start off 5-0. They beat Skyline 8-0. They beat Bloomfield Birmingham 6-0. They lost to Traverse City 8-1. They lost to Mid-Michigan Alliance 3-0. They beat Livonia United, that back on 23rd of November, 7-4. They fell to Grosse Pointe South 5-0. They fell to Traverse City 7-1. They lost to Cransburg Kingswood, that back on the 9th of this month, 6-5. They had a tie versus the East Side Bulldogs. Then they beat St. Mary's. That was 8-0, and had a draw 3-3 versus University Liggett. Taking a look at that game versus University Liggett, it was, again, 1 goal by Flint in the first, 2 goals by Flint in the second, 1 by Liggett in the second, 2 goals by Liggett in the third to make it 3-3. We are about to get our starting lineups coming up here. Coming out. She's number 12. Kokoski comes out for Flint. Cole skates out to the blue line. Secor comes out to the blue line on defense. Sullivan between the pipes. Eben comes out to the blue line. Rosenfeld out to the blue line. Portinga comes out to the blue line. Undiff comes out to the blue line. Stella Young. Ravelli is the goalkeeper, and now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. As we're about to get ready to go here at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena, as it is Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey taking on the Phoenix, the Greater Flint United. As 15 minutes up on the clock, Pioneer in their white sweaters with the dark stripe across the middle. Pioneer logo, block A's on the front, numbers on the back and on the sleeves, dark pants, and the white socks. On the other side, the Phoenix have a blue on the base of the sweater. They have orange on the shoulders. They have orange and white around the middle. They have those blue pants. They have the blue, white, and orange socks and dark helmets, mostly. Sullivan has a white helmet, the goalkeeper. Pioneer, mostly dark helmets. They have, I believe, Jof and Ravelli have white helmets. As we are about to get ready to go here, thank you for joining us. We're very grateful for your support of either of these teams. Portinga in to take the face-off versus Esser. And center ice, and we are underway. That puck in along the far boards. Heben fires it back deep into the Flint zone. Steered by Sullivan into the far corner. Gathered up, fired around there by Secord. Shot and a save by Sullivan. Sullivan grabs that one. Face-off will be to Sullivan's right in the far face, or left in the far face-off circle. Portinga back there versus Esser. Trying to battle that puck, top of the far circle. Held in back over there by Portinga. Now fed to the blue line. Heben trying to hold it in. Now sent back into the neutral zone. Racing ahead with it is Esser. Knocked away by Estella Young. Estella Young coming down the far boards. Estella Young fires it back deep. That ricochets off the dasher right back behind Sullivan. In along the near boards as Secord feeds it ahead. Here comes Bukowski. Bukowski gains the zone. Bukowski onto the far circle for Flint. Bukowski in along the end boards, trying to go from the far side to the near side. Heben trying to knock that puck away into the far corner of her own zone. Fired, and there is going to be a hand pass at 14:05. As that face-off is going to come all the way back into the Flint zone. So hand pass in the offensive zone moves that back into Flint's end of things. It's going to be to the left of Sullivan. As Fainter in to take that face-off. Trying to see who's on the other side of that puck. And along those far boards as that was Welsh on the other side. Now racing ahead with it. Here comes Kyle. Kyle outside the far circle. That moved all the way around the near boards. Holding it in is Flater. Flater puts it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Jof trying to grab it in along the far boards. Jof trying to knock that away from Kyle. That puck put back to the far point. Fired in by Secord again, deep back into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Alexis Young takes it there, moves it ahead to Kong. Kong trying to knock it away. Now Alexis Young again gets it to the blue line. Trying to bring it ahead. Now here comes Alexis Young over center ice. That's sent down into the Flint zone. Picked up by Secord. Secord back behind her own goal. In along the near board, Secord making her way over her own blue line. Over center ice, Secord into the Pioneer zone. Secord onto the far circle. Secord shot there, just goes wide. Comes outside the near circle. Kung trying to get that away. Held in by Secord. That a good save by Ravelli. Comes all the way back and along the far boards. Picked up by Walsh. Walsh turning on it. Walsh gaining the Pioneer zone. Tipped back away. Good poke check there. Puck loose and held in by Flint. Into the near corner. Cundiff has it, trying to poke that away as Bukowski trying to knock that. Fainter has it in along the end boards. Fainter moves it. That tipped right out into the slot. Trying to grab it as that's knocked down. Backhanded shot out in front by Bukowski. Now that puck down the far boards. He's been trying to get it out of there. Held in. High slot by Bukowski. That comes into the near corner. Pulled away onto Bukowski. Bukowski trying to get it over to Lortz. Now that back to Flair. Flater coming down the near boards. Bukowski tips that into the near corner. Cundiff has it there. Cundiff trying to send it along the near boards with 12:08 left to go here. Esser back in that near corner of the Pioneer zone. Bukowski on the far circle. Shot there. Ravelli got a piece of it. That puck in along the far boards. Hebert fires it all the way down into the Flint end. Secord has it on the far circle of her own zone, trying to turn on it, sends it into the neutral zone. Esser has it, but that's poked away. Here comes Portinga for Pioneer. That knocked down right at the blue line. Back the other direction is Lortz. Lortz moves it into the Pioneer zone. Alexis Young into the far corner, back behind her own goal. In along the near boards, Bucalis trying to get it out, but that held in by Secord. Now Cundiff chasing back, trying to get to it. Esser moves it down the far boards. Esser trying to get to it, but that fired all the way down the ice. That is going to be icing at 11:21. It's going to go back into the Pioneer zone. But again, in high school, you can change on an icing. So sometimes not a bad move in high school. In college and professional, you do not get to change if you ice the puck. You have to keep those same 5 players out there. 11:21 left to go here in the first face-off. Fainter trying to take it. Walsh on the other side as that's pulled away by Jof. Jof coming down the far boards for Pioneer. Jof over her own blue line. Jof over center ice. Jof moves it all the way down into the near corner. Flater trying to pick it up and along the end boards. Goes into the far corner. Woodside trying to knock that away. Flater moves it underneath the near circle. Trying to bring it down the near boards. Flint battling. Now over their own blue line, here comes Secord. Secord gains the Pioneer zone. Cundiff trying to knock it away. Secord into the near corner. Goes right back behind the goal. Secord trying to fire it out in front. That knocked away. Back to the far point. Walsh holds it in. Fires it right back behind the Pioneer goal into the near corner. Cundiff has it. Cundiff trying to backhand it over to Kung. Now that ricocheted off the near boards by Fainter. Flater puts it right back into the Pioneer zone. Flater has it onto that near circle. Flater through the slot, coming in, shot and a goal. Flater puts it in, makes a nifty move, kind of faded to the far side and put it in the near side, and that is a goal at 10-21. Goal for Flint, as that was number 2, Flater, who put it in, and Flint has the 1-0 lead at 10-21. Flint in Division 1 in the Michigan High School Girls Hockey League. Pioneer in Division 2. That's sent ahead. Esser trying to get to it into the Pioneer zone. Esser into the high slot. That puck into the far corner of the Pioneer end. Eben trying to chip it ahead. Held in by Secord. She puts it back deep into the near corner of the Pioneer end. Cundiff takes it right back behind her own goal from the near side to the far side. That back to the far point. Held in by Lortz. Puck covered up and saved by Ravelli. 9:53 left to go here in the first. Flint with the 1-0 lead on Pioneer. Face-off, Esser versus Portinga in the far face-off circle. Eben sends it for a ride down the far boards. Lortz holds it in. And puck loose on the far circle. Now all the way to the blue line. That slips back out towards the Flint end. Racing back to get it to Secord. Portinga trying to knock it away. Secord goes back behind her own goal from the near side to the far side. Secord ricochets it off the far board over to Esser. Portinga trying to get to it, but that into the neutral zone. Here comes Secord into the Pioneer end. Secord on the far circle. Turns around, gets it back to top of the far circle. Now over and along the near boards. That's sent to the Pioneer blue line, but that dumped back deep by Lortz. Now Cole has it top of the far circle. Loose. Pioneer trying to chip it out of the zone. Battle for it at the far point. Now that comes out to the neutral zone. Flint has to reset. Lortz has it at her own blue line. Feeds it ahead. As Alexis Young trying to get to it. Now Jof has it into the near corner of her own zone. Jof coming down the near boards. Jof over her own blue line. Coming ahead for Pioneer. Jof makes a nifty move onto the near circle. Jof into the near corner. Going. Has it tipped away. Trying to fire it out in front. That went off of a defender's skate. Now coming down the near boards, here comes Flint. As Secord tried to knock that away. Sullivan got a piece of it all the way outside the far circle. He's been trying to fire it. And back into the near corner. Bukalis has it on the near circle. Bukalis with a shot saved by Sullivan. 8:26 left to go here in the first. 1-0. It is Flint with the lead. 8:26 left to go here in the first. As that face-off on the near face-off circle. Fainter, that's sent right back behind the goal. Flater sends it down the far boards. Tip. Pioneer trying to hold it in. Top of the far circle. Here comes Bukalis. Bukalis moves it back. Top of the far circle. That fired all the way down the ice into the Pioneer zone. But that will be icing and head back into the Flint end. Pioneer will get to choose which circle they want it in after the icing. They'll go to the far face-off circle. That to the left of Sullivan. I think that's Walsh in there versus Fainter. And chip goes just to the near side of the goal. Flater trying to get it down the near boards into the neutral zone. Cundiff has it there. Cundiff trying to chip it away right at center ice. That's brought in by Welsh. Welsh moves it into the slot. Trying to get it over to Esser. That puck in along the far board. Secord has it into the far corner. Secord right back behind the Pioneer goal. In along the near boards. That's grabbed by Yarborough. Now sent right back deep. Yarborough trying to get to it in along the end boards. Yarborough trying to fire it out in front. Cundiff trying to knock that away as it's a battle in along the end boards. As Kyle trying to feed it out in front then for Flint. That comes to Bukalis on the near circle. Here comes Pioneer the other direction. Tipped in along the near boards. Bukalis trying to get to it, but Kyle brings it right back in the Pioneer zone. Cundiff has it underneath the near circle as Flint gets a bit of a change. That puck all the way back to the Flint blue line. Lortz has it there. Lortz moving it down the far boards. Welsh trying to get to it. Loose and along the far boards of the neutral zone, and here comes Pioneer as Estella Young gets it into the zone. That fired back deep by Woodside. Puck in along the end boards of the Flint end. Picked up there by Lortz. Lortz trying to move it around the far boards. Here comes Walsh. Walsh moves it ahead. Coming down the far boards. That's dumped deep by Bukowski. Bukowski sends it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Jof has it there. She's poked off of the puck. Now in along the near boards. Fainter trying to get it out of the zone. Held in at the far point there. It just goes wide to the near side. And along the near boards, here comes Rosenfeld for Pioneer. Rosenfeld trying to get it out there. Secord knocks it back, but here comes Heben down the far boards. Heben trying to get around Bukowski. Sent deep into the Flint zone, and that'll be a shot on goal steered by Sullivan and along the near boards. Coming down the near boards, Flint that sent right back behind Sullivan. Lortz has it down the far boards. Pioneer trying to hold it in. Esser takes it the other direction. It's a 3-on-1. Here comes Flint as Esser has it. Excellent defensive play back there by Alexis Young. It was a good rush by Flint. Here comes Jof. Jof back behind the Pioneer goal. She's ridden off the puck back to the far point. Trying to fire it right back deep. There is Lortz. Puck now underneath the near circle. Jof trying to get to it. Alexis Young. Back to the near point. Flater moves it towards the goal. Coming in. Shot just goes wide. Portinga has it in along the far boards now. Lortz outside the far circle. She ends up down on the ice. Loses an edge. Heben fires it back to the far point, but that's held in there by Esser. Esser trying to move it back. Heben grabs it outside that near far circle, and here comes Portinga over center ice. Portinga tipped away from her. Back to Heben on the far circle. Heben takes a shot. Sullivan gets a piece of it. Back in along the near boards. Trying to move it ahead here is Esser. Esser gains the zone. Esser outside the near circle into the Pioneer end. Drop pass over to Flater. Flater with a shot. Good save by Ravelli. Puck in along the far boards. Held in there by Secord. There's a shot saved by Ravelli. And goal as Ravelli tried to stop it, but that rebound got fired in. And looking at the line, that looks like that was Yarborough who put it in. So that at 4:46 goal for Flint as Yarborough put it in. So we've had a goal from number 2 later, and then a goal from number 22, Yarborough. As that puck back deep, Cundiff has it in along the end boards. Cundiff feeds it. Welsh has it into the far corner. Welsh takes it back behind the goal, underneath the near circle. Welsh. Now top of the near circle. Drop pass over to Flater. Flater with a shot. Good save by Ravelli. Puck in along the near boards. 4:25 left to go here in the first. Pioneer trying to get it out of the zone. Flater holds it in. Flater moves it right back behind the goal in along the far boards. Welsh with it there. Welsh trying to center it up there. Backhanded pass. Got knocked down. Now Estella Young trying to feed it down the far board. Secord into the far corner. Secord back behind the Pioneer goal. Puck into the near corner. Cundiff has it there. Secord and Cundiff battling in that near corner. Now Yarborough, who scored the last goal, comes in to try and poke that away. Fainter sends it right back behind her own goal. 3:50 left to go. That puck in along the far boards. Now Kyle on the near circle. Kyle loses an edge, feeds it towards the slot. Picked up. Bukowski with a shot as that one deflects into the far corner. 3:32 left to go here in the first. Puck in along the end boards. As Fainter trying to get it out of the zone, held in by Secord at the far point. Secord loses an edge. Estella Young has it, and that's going to be a whistle. That is going to be a tripping call against Pioneer at 3:20. As Flint goes on the power play. As looks like Fainter goes into the box for a trip. Faceoff is going to be back in the Pioneer zone with 3:20 left to go here in the first. 2-0. Flint with the lead. Face-off is to Ravelli's right in the far face-off circle. Portinga versus Esser. Puck into the far corner. Jof with it there. Loose underneath that far circle. Centering attempt got knocked away. Good job by Heben back to the far point. Lortz trying to fire it back in along the end boards. Jof right back behind her own goal. Rims it all the way around the boards. Stopped by Flater. Flater moves it over to Lortz. Lortz at the far point. Lortz trying to feed it deep. That picked up by Jof coming down the far boards. Jof over her own blue line. Jof races over center. Jof takes it onto the far circle. Poke checked away. Portinga trying to get to it. She collided with Bukowski, and coming up the other direction, here comes Flint. Into the zone is Esser. Esser, near circle, shot there. Ravelli with the save. Alexis Young feeds it down the near boards. Flater has it on the near circle. Flater ricochets it off the dasher. That outside the far circle now. 2:30 left to go here in the first. 2-0. Flint with the lead. Esser underneath the near circle. Trying to move it into the slot. Knocked away by Jof. Loose on that near circle. Flater holds it in at the blue line. Flater moves it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Rims outside the far circle. Back to the far point. Lortz trying to hold that in. Battle for it outside the far circle. Jof trying to move it ahead. Held in at the far point by Bukowski. Now Jof gets it into the neutral zone. Turning on it, coming down the near boards. Here comes Lortz. Lortz onto the near circle for Flint. Lortz moves it back over to Esser outside the near circle. 1:50 left to go here in the first. That puck all the way back, looking to send it back to the blue line. It just slipped back in along the end boards. 1:40 left to go here in the first as Flint moves it quickly out of their zone in along the far boards. Poke check back there by Estella Young. Sent right back deep into the Flint end. Racing back to get it is Flater. Flater has it in along the near boards. Flater trying to move it ahead. And right in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Cundiff makes it over to Woodside. Woodside trying to fire it in deep. Now Bacallis has it outside the far circle. Bacallis trying to move it over into the slot for Woodside, but that pulled back behind. Now Flint trying to move it down the near boards. Held in into the high slot. Woodside has it, but that's pulled back away by Lortz right back behind her own goal. Fed ahead down the far boards as Yarbrough trying to get it out of the zone, held in by Pioneer. And puck now sent in along the near boards, racing ahead with it. Here comes Kyle over center ice. Kyle gains the Pioneer zone. That knocked away. Good job by Cundiff to send it right back into the neutral zone with 39 seconds left to go. Sent down the far boards by Flater. Right at the blue line, Pioneer backhands it, but picked up by Secord at the center ice and put back deep into the Pioneer end. Cundiff races back behind her own goal. Welsh has it into the far circle. Welsh trying to move it. She goes back to the far point, then fires it right back behind the Pioneer goal. 17 seconds left to go. Puck sent back. Welsh has it now. Moves it back to the far point. Shot deflects back into the neutral zone. Now coming ahead with it. Battle for it in along the near boards as he's been trying to knock that away. And that will do it at the end of one. It is 2-1. Flint with the lead, and we will have a very quick break here, and we'll head back into the second period. 2-1. Flint leading Pioneer women's varsity hockey.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Both teams head back out onto the ice as we're getting ready to go for the second period. Pioneer going from left to right here in this second period. Flint going right to left. As we have a pretty good crowd. Number of people came down from Flint. We appreciate that. Good Pioneer crowd across the way. This is both squads' last game of the calendar year. They both play on the 6th or 7th of January, I believe. Pioneer's next game would be on the 7th versus Walled Lake. And puck in along the near boards. He's been trying to fire it. That knocked down by Bukowski. Now in along the near boards. Estella Young trying to get it. Down over to Portinga. Portinga makes it into the zone. Portinga trying to race into the far circle. Esser right back behind her. Portinga loses an edge. Esser coming around, and there's a whistle. 14:40 left to go. That looks like it's going to be, was that a hook? It looks like that is indeed going to be a penalty on Esser here in the second, and 14:40. So first penalty on Flint. Pioneer with the extra skater. Puck right back behind the Flint goal. As trying to move it around is Flater. Flater feeds it all the way down into the Pioneer end. Estella Young races back to get to it. Estella Young in along the near boards. And rocketed all the way back deep. Lortz chases it into her own end. 14:20 left to go here in the second period. Puck cleared all the way down as Cundiff chases it. That'll go back into the near corner. Trying to pull that away as that's chipped. Trying to get that is Cole back over there. Now here comes Pioneer racing ahead with this is Heben. Heben down the far boards. Heben trying to move it over. Rosenfeld has it into the zone. That's sent ahead. Tipped off a Cole back into the neutral zone. Estella Young setting up over to Cundiff. Cundiff coming down the far boards, feeds it ahead. Now outside the near circle. Heben trying to get to it. Grab, chip back to Cole. That'll get her all the way back to the Pioneer blue line. Cundiff has it there. Bukowski trying to keep Pioneer from getting into the zone, trying to poke that away from Rosenfeld. Now back into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to touch up, and that puck fired all the way down the near boards. 35 seconds left in the Pioneer advantage. Joff has it back behind her own goal. Joff trying to get ahead of steam, comes over the neutral zone, over center ice. Joff coming down the far boards. Joff outside the far circle. Bukowski trying to knock that away as trying to get to it back over there with Secord as well. Now here comes Flint into the Pioneer zone. Flater has it outside the near circle. Flater back behind her own goal, or back behind the Pioneer goal. Moves it to Secord, top of the near circle. There's a blast, knocked down out in front. Trying to fire it in was Yarbrough, trying to get her second goal of the game. As that penalty has expired, the puck in along the near board. So Flint back to full strength. Flint moves that puck outside the near circle, trying to pull that away. Centering attempt right into the slot. Alexis Young moves it down the far boards. Bacallis gets it into the neutral zone. Tipped away by Lortz, right back to the Pioneer blue line. Joff has it there. Joff trying to feed it ahead. Coming in. Joff onto the far circle. Joff trying to get it over to Woodside, just out of her reach. Woodside centering attempt. That pulled by Secord into the near corner with 12:06 left to go here in the second. Bacallis trying to feed it across. Welsh has it there. Welsh back into the neutral zone and all in along the near boards. Esser has it outside the near circle. Centering attempt into the far corner. Gathered up there by Pioneer. Bacallis trying to move it ahead. That fired deep. That will be icing and head back into the Pioneer end at 11:42 here at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena. Fainter in to take the face off. On the other side is Welsh. And puck battle for it outside the far circle, trying to bring it ahead. Out into the neutral zone is Bacallis. Bacallis right at center ice. That pulled away by Flint, but Estella Young has it at her own blue line. Neal was trying to knock it down. Now Secord down the near board. Secord as that moved away by Estella Young. Flater has it at center ice. Flater moves all the way across. Now that puck over to Kyle. Kyle tips it down the near boards. Yarborough chasing it. Estella Young into the near corner. She trying to feed it back. Flater has it onto the near circle. Skittering puck into the far corner. Cundiff races over to get to it. She fires it down the far boards. Bacala's trying to knock it out, but Secord has it outside the far circle and moves it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Grabbed by Estella Young. She moves underneath the far circle, trying to bring it ahead. Kyle trying to knock it down, held in at the blue line as that was deflected back into the neutral zone. Walsh trying to bring it right back in. Puck loose right at the blue line. Now Kyle trying to move it top of the near circle. Walsh has it outside the near circle. That puck tipped. Kyle trying to hold it in. Held in at the near point by Secord, who fires it back behind the Pioneer goal. Yarborough back to the near point. Good job by Flater to hold it in, but Pioneer feeds it down as Woodside chasing it in along the far board. Secord back into center ice. Now Flater trying to get to it. Loose puck. As that'll be back into the Pioneer zone. Secord trying to get a shot away on that far circle. Wouldn't settle down. Now Walsh with a shot. Oh, sitting right there. Good opportunity for Flint, and the puck wouldn't settle down as Yarborough was right on the near side of the goal. Secord brings it back in. Cundiff has it outside the far circle. She tries to move it as Cundiff over on blue line. Cundiff backhands it ahead. That intercepted. Walsh heads the other direction down the far boards. Her and Portinga battling. Brought in. There's a shot by Bukowski. Now Jof has it back behind her own goal. She goes down. That is going to be a penalty, a tripping call, as Pioneer goes back on the power play at 9:37. That is a penalty, second penalty on Flint at the 9:37 mark. I believe that was a tripping call. So that penalty will go right back in. That was Walsh shoes in the box. So face off in the far face off circle. That in the Flint zone. Portinga in to take the face off. I believe that's Esser on the other side. Puck in along the far boards. That's lifted all the way back deep into the Pioneer end. 9:30 left to go here in the second. 2-0. Flint with the lead. Jof trying to come down the far boards. Now Jof working her way over on blue line. Jof over center ice. Jof has it poked, but maintains possession as Bukowski trying to knock it away. And sent back to the far point, but held in over there by Alexis Young. Jof feeds it deep. Right back behind the Flint goal. Portinga trying to feed it out in front, but that pulled away by Flint. Ricocheted off the near board, and that rolls on edge back into the Pioneer end. Jof has it right in front of her own goal, coming down the far boards. Avoids pressure by Bukowski. Here comes Esser. Esser moves it back to her own defensive pair. Lortz now down the near boards. Lortz that tipped. Bukowski gets it in, but firing it even back in along the far boards. Here comes Rosenfeld. Rosenfeld over center ice. Rosenfeld moves it into the Flint end, but that backhanded right back into the neutral zone. Racing down the near boards. Esser has it. Esser has it poked away by Alexis Young. Esser centering attempt stolen away by Portinga. Portinga moves it back to center ice. That moved in along the near boards. Flater gets it over to Secord. Secord dumps it deep into the Pioneer end. 42 seconds left on the Pioneer power play. Bukowski has it outside the far circle. Chip back to the forward point. Flater holds it in. Shot there. Saved by Ravelli. Now Cundiff moves it down the near board. Secord holds it in at the near point. That shot just goes wide. In along the far boards. Esser has it. That poke back to the far point. Good job by Bukowski to hold it in. Bouncing puck goes just wide into the near corner. Secord has it in the near corner. Going back behind the Pioneer goal from the near side to the far side. Secord now comes back to the near side. Trying to wrap around attempt. Good job by Cundiff out in front. Loose. And that comes all the way back into the high slot. Bukowski fires it back deep as that goes in along the near boards. Power play has expired as Flint back to full strength coming down the near boards. That gathered up. Flint moves it down the far boards over to Bukowski. Bukowski over center ice. Bukowski gets into the Pioneer zone onto the far circle. Bukowski trying to go back behind the goal. and moved around. Top of the near circle, Kyle has it as that's deflected. Loose in the slot now, picking it up. Here comes Heben, and moved over. Secord gets it back outside the far circle. Secord has that poked away. Woodside trying to knock it down. Poked back in along the far boards of the Pioneer end. 6:45 left to go here in the second. 2-0. Flint with the lead. Grabbed right in front of the scorer's box. Picked up down the near boards. Here comes Flint as Lortz firing it into the far corner. It's gathered up there. Cundiff trying to move it ahead onto the far circle. Now there's a shot save by Ravelli. And that will be a face-off in the Pioneer zone. 6:20 left to go here in the second. 2-0. Flint with the lead. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That is to the left of Ravelli. Welshin to take the face-off versus Fainter. That puck top of the far circle. Pioneer trying to get out of the zone. Held into the slot. Jof takes it away there. Jof spins with it. Trying to avoid Yarborough. Jof over on blue line. Jof over center ice. Jof. That poked away. Bouncing puck right at the blue line. Now in along the near boards. Woodside trying to get to it. Welsh gains the Pioneer zone. Welsh. There's a shot on goal. As poked back by Ravelli in along the far boards. Jof has it there. Jof trying to get it over to Alexis Young. Grab. Flater with a shot and a save by Ravelli. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Portinga versus Esser in that far face-off circle. Puck back to the blue line, held in, fired back deep by Flint into the near corner. Right out into the slot grab. Bukowski with a shot and a save by Ravelli. 5:33 left to go here in the second. 2-0. Flint with the lead. Portinga versus Esser in that far face-off circle. Jof trying to get it out of the zone, held in by Secord. Secord moves it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Now sent outside the far circle. Get it grabbed by Flater. She loses the edge. Esser retreats back into the neutral zone. Over to Secord. Secord has it at her own blue line. Banks it ahead to Bukowski. Bukowski coming in the zone. Now Alexis Young into the far corner. She trying to chip it back, held in at the far point by Flater. Flater. And it slips past back into the neutral zone. Secord will step back up and get it back over to Flater down the far boards. Over to Esser, who gains the zone. Esser on the high slot, now onto the near circle. Esser gets it back to Secord. Secord with the shot. That one just goes wide. Cole has it back behind the Pioneer goal. There's a shot from the far circle that was blocked. All the way back to the far point. Flater has it there. Top of the near circle. Secord with a shot. As that one into the near corner. 4:37 left to go here in the second. Secord with a shot tipped out in front. As that will be a save by Ravelli. 4:31 left to go here in the second. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That is to the right of Ravelli. Welshin to take the face-off. Fainter on the other side. That puck into the slot. Poked back into the neutral zone. Back to get to it is Lortz. Lortz has it at her own blue line. Lortz tipped right at center ice. Welsh has it. Welsh backhands it. Cundiff picks it up at her own blue line, trying to bring it down the far boards. That puck right to center ice. Bacallis has it. Bacallis gets back behind the defense. Bacallis looking for a shot and a goal! Bacallis makes it 2-1. That at 4:05 left to go here in the second. Pioneer cuts the lead. Face off at center ice. Walsh in there versus Fainter. Loose puck. Fired back into the Pioneer zone. Estella Young has it. She steers it in along the near boards. Welsh trying to hold it in. That back into the neutral zone. Lord's trying to move it. That'll go right back behind the Pioneer goal. Cundiff has it there. Kyle providing pressure. That puck moved into the near corner. Welsh had it. Now Lortz holds it in at the near point. Right back behind the Pioneer goal. Welsh has it moved away. Bacallis trying to get to it outside the near circle. And moved ahead. Estella Young slips it back into the neutral zone. Bacallis moves it across. That puck trying to get to it was Kung. Now the other direction. And brought back into the Pioneer zone. Cundiff in along the far boards trying to knock it away from Kyle. Welsh holds it in, puts it back into the far corner with 3:18 left to go here in the second. Yarborough back behind the Pioneer goal. That moved by Cundiff in along the near boards. Bacallis trying to knock it away, skittering at the near point. Yarborough fires it as that goes back deep and along the end boards. Stella Young into the near corner trying to get it away from Yarborough. Outside the near circle, that puck. Here comes Fainter. Fainter over on blue line. Fainter over center ice. Fainter gains the zone. Top of the near circle. That steered wide as Flater has it back behind her own goal. And puck back into the neutral zone. Alexis Young trying to move it right back into the Flint end. And coming down the far boards. Bukowski has it, high slot, and shot got knocked in along the far boards, moved in along the far boards by Alexis Young. Centering attempt. That'll knock off of the near board. Cole has it, back to the blue line. Mortz with the shot. That got knocked down by Heben. Heben trying to steer it towards the blue line. Here comes Fainter. Fainter over on blue line. Fainter moves it as Rosenfeld fires it back deep into the Flint zone with 2:14 left to go here in the second. That puck moved in along the far boards. Bukowski rockets it all the way back. Jof chasing it. Jof has it right in front of her own goal. Jof trying to avoid pressure. Down the near boards over the blue line. Jof over center ice. Secord trying to knock it away. Jof moves it outside the near circle in the Flint zone. Jof trying to come back as Lortz trying to pull that away. Centering attempt. That got knocked down out in front. Here comes Lortz the other direction. Lortz down the near boards. Lortz battle for it right in front of the Flint bench. That fired right back deep into the Flint end. 1:37 left to go here in the second. 2-1. Flint with 2 goals in the first. Pioneer with a lone goal in the second. Estella Young sends it back as she's outside the far circle of her own zone, trying to avoid pressure by Esser. Goes back behind Ravelli and down the near boards. Loose puck. That'll slip back into the neutral zone. Bukowski tries to feed it right back in. Cundiff knocks it back to center ice. Here comes Portinga in front of the scorer's bench. Portinga trying to move it in. Puck wouldn't settle down, but grabbed by Flint right at their own blue line. That moved ahead. Now grabbing it is Cole. Cole gains the Pioneer zone. Cole outside the near circle with the shot that just goes wide. 54 seconds left to go here in the second. Esser trying to dig it off those far boards. He's been trying to knock it down. Now here comes Cundiff. Cundiff moves over on blue line. Cundiff over center ice. Cundiff coming down the far boards as Flater trying to poke that away. Back to the far point. Grabbed it. Here comes Flint. Stella Young trying to knock that down. But Flint over center ice. Here comes Esser. Top of the near circle. 29 seconds left to go. Into the near corner. Bukowski gets it back. Secord into the near corner. 19 seconds left in this second period. Puck back to the near point. Portinga trying to get it out of the zone. Flater has it at center ice. Flater feeds it down the far boards. Yarborough chasing it. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And that will do it for the second. 2-1 is the score heading into the intermission. We'll have an ice resurfacing here, and then we will be right back as, again, the final game of this calendar year for us, for both of these teams. We hope you and your families are having and continue to have a fantastic, amazing holiday season and a wonderful new year. We will step away. We'll play a few messages from the MHSAA, but we're very, very grateful for you and everyone for supporting these fantastic teams. We will be right back.
Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at mhsaa.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Why do high school sports really exist? For 99% of the participants, it's the biggest stage they will ever play on, and it provides the most educational value, teaching sportsmanship, ethics, integrity, hard work, and teamwork. It's about playing with local friends against local rivals and creating lifetime relationships. They build community spirit, and they're worthy of your continued support. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the Health and Safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You have to wonder sometimes how folks in the stands, so far removed from the action and who have probably never had any training, actually think they can see the play and apply the rules better than the officials assigned to a game. If you're that good, please register immediately at MHSAA.com. We need more officials on the playing surface and fewer in the stands. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Think of a high school game as a 4-lane highway. Coaches, players, officials, and spectators, each with their own lane. Sportsmanship depends on everyone not crossing over the line. Fans keep it between the lines when they cheer positively for their team. So don't cause an accident. Stay in your lane and let the coaches, players, and officials do their jobs. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Power Ratings will be used this year in soccer, basketball, and boys lacrosse to seed the district tournament in those sports, and you can follow along. Visit your school's page on the MHSAA website to see how your team is faring, and you can look at statewide lists as well. And if you see your team is missing a score, submit it. Learn more about the Michigan Power Rankings at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
live here at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena, where it is 2-1. Flint has the lead going into the third. 15 minutes up on the clock. Ice is resurfaced. And we are approaching the final stanza. Pioneer going from right to left. Flint going left to right. Both squads getting last-minute instructions from their coaching staff, and official right at center ice ready to get going. Here we go for the third period. Welsh in to take the face-off versus Portinga at center ice. Flint up by a goal. At puck. Tipped right at center ice, trying to get to it as Welsh. Moves it down the far boards. Heben trying to pull that away. Grabbed. Now down the near boards. Here comes Flint. Tipped back by Portinga. Rosenfeld trying to get to it. That's sent by Heben back into the Flint zone. Lortz. And along the end boards, Lortz goes back behind her own goal. Moves it down the far boards. Loose on the far circle. Portinga has it high, slot shot, and a save by Sullivan into the near corner. Flint moves it down the near boards. Kyle trying to get it out of there. Now here comes Welsh. That pulled away by Estella Young. Welsh gets it back onto that far circle. Now Yarborough has it in along the end boards. Moved back behind the far circle, trying to feed it ahead as Heben. Held into the Pioneer zone, but here comes Cundiff. Cundiff racing the other direction. Cundiff gains the Flint zone. Cundiff with a shot that just goes wide. Down the near boards. Here comes Flint. Moving it. Portinga has it as she puts it right back into the Flint zone. Flater goes back behind her own goal from the near side to the far side. Flater trying to move it down the far boards. Heben tips it. With that back, here comes Esser. Esser right in front of the scorer's box. Esser gets it into the Pioneer zone. Moves it over to Walsh. Walsh with a shot and a save by Ravelli. 13:38 left to go here in the third. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle. That is to Ravelli's right. Let's go Pio chant from the Pioneer fans. Esser versus Fainter in the far face-off circle. That comes to the side of the Pioneer goal, right back behind Jof. Has it into the near corner. Jof coming ahead with it. Jof over her own blue line. Down the near boards. Jof into the Flint zone. Shot there and a score. Jof puts it bar down, and Pioneer has it tied here in the third at 13:23. Pioneer goal. Jof puts it in, and we're all knotted up at 2 apiece. Fainter taking the face off, comes in along the far boards. Jof has it. Jof top of the far circle. Jof moves it. Grabbed by Secord. Secord trying to move it ahead. Bukowski over. That tipped by Cole coming down the near boards. Alexis Young gets it over to Bacalus. Bacalus over center. Bacalus trying to get around, but Secord knocks it down. But here comes Fainter. Fainter has that poke checked away by Esser into the near corner. Secord trying to pull it away. There is a penalty upcoming, as that is an illegal body check or maybe a roughing call. That is going to be at 12:53 as Secord goes into the box for a penalty to Flint. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That is to Sullivan's right. Portinga in to take the face-off. Trying to see the other side. That puck right back behind. Flater has it. That was Welsh on the other side of the face-off. Coming ahead, shot by Heben. That goes right through the crease. Now Portinga off the side of the goal into the near corner. Heben trying to move it out in front into the slot. Now Kyle down the far boards. Kyle coming ahead with it. Tipped away by Stella Young. Portinga trying to get into the zone. Portinga battling outside the far circle. Heben trying to poke that away. Heben into the far corner. Right through the crease and along the near boards. As Rosenfeld trying to dig it outside of the near circle. Welsh now has it, that back into the neutral zone. Here comes Kyle the other direction. Kyle gains his own. Kyle into the far circle, backhanded shot. Saved by Ravelli, loose and fired, and that's a goal, shorthanded goal by Flint. As I believe that was Yarborough's second goal. No, Welsh. That was Welsh's first goal, so that is shorthanded goal at 12:07. So goal by Flint. Welsh got it, and they go up 3-2. So Pioneer able to tie the score at 13:23, and then just about a minute 20 seconds later, Flint takes the lead again. Now coming ahead with it, Kyle knocked away by Jof. Jof coming down the near boards of the neutral zone. Jof stops, moves it over to Rosenfeld. Rosenfeld coming ahead with it. And grabbed in along the near boards and fired all the way back by Flint, back into the Pioneer zone. 59 seconds left in the Pioneer power play. Jof coming down the far boards. Now Portinga sends it back into the neutral zone. Now Flater in along the near boards. Flater trying to feed it ahead. That'll go all the way back. 44 seconds left in the Pioneer power play. Jof in along the far boards of her own zone in the far corner. Pulled away, centering attempt, knocked away. Jof has it underneath the near circle of her own zone. Jof over her own blue line. Jof over center. Jof gains the zone, trying to get through, knocked away by Bukowski, held in by Alexis Young. Nope, that is going to be offside. 22 seconds left in the Pioneer power play, 11:15 left to go here in the third. 3-2 is the Flint lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle, just outside of the Flint zone. As that puck in along the far boards, trying to poke that away, and looks like they actually knocked our scoreboard item out over across the way. So I will have to change to a manual scoreboard. Coming down the far boards, Lortz has it. As let me edit this and make a quick change to manual and update that so I can fix it. So the clock won't work. Into the far corner. It is 3-2. Flint with the lead. Puck back to the near point. Now coming ahead with it. Here comes Bukowski. Bukowski near circle coming in. Shot there and a goal. Bukowski. It's a Flint goal that makes it 4-2 here in the third. That at 10:27, goal for Flint as Bukowski puts it in, and now it is a 4-2 lead by Flint. As Pioneer tied the game, and then Flint scored two quick more goals, and it's 4-2. Portinga versus Esser in the face-off circle. That puck back to the blue line. Jof has it. Jof trying to make a move, tipped right back into the Pioneer zone. Alexis Young chases it, top of the near circle of her own end. Alexis Young trying to get it over to Kung. Now Jof has it on that near circle of her own zone, trying to avoid Cole. Jof coming down the near boards as Esser trying to knock that away. Jof still stick handling, knocked by Secord, but that rolls back into the neutral zone. Grab down the near boards. Bukowski sends it into the Pioneer end. Alexis Young gets it back out into the neutral zone. Here comes Kong. Now over to Portinga. Portinga brings it in, held in by Alexis Young. Now outside the near circle. Grabbed by Secord, trying to hold it in. Alexis Young at the near point. Back into the neutral zone. Here comes Cole. Cole fires it back deep into the Pioneer end. Rolls on edge. 9:40 left to go here in the third. 4-2. Flint with the lead. Jof underneath the near circle. Moves it ahead. That'll go all the way down and roll. That'll be icing and head back the other direction. 9:26 left in the third. That will go back into the Pioneer end. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That to Ravelli's left. Painter in to take the face-off. Welsh on the other side. Puck, grab. Cundiff back to the near point. Flater moves it right back behind the goal. Gathered by Estella Young. Estella Young going from the far side to the near side, trying to avoid pressure by Flint. As Welsh back behind her. That moved back to the blue line, but held in. Shot there. Grab by Ravelli. 9:07 left to go here in the third. 4-2 Flint with the lead. Face off in the far face-off circle. Welsh versus Fainter there in the Pioneer zone. Puck, top of the far circle. Flater moves it back in along the end boards. Estella Young chasing it, trying to get away from Yarborough. Puck outside the far circle. Welsh with a shot that just goes wide. In along the near boards, Bacallis has it. She's trying to move it out. Flater with a shot that just goes off the side of the net. Estella Young underneath the near circle, trying to move it over to Bacallis. Stolen away by Kyle. Loose on that near circle as Fainter gets it back into the neutral zone. Flater all the way across, coming down the far boards, sent in by Secord. Estella Young underneath her far circle of her own zone, moving it down the far boards. Woodside moves it ahead. Now racing, then taken away. Flint moves it down the near boards. Welsh picks it up there. Welsh moves it back deep as it'll go right back behind the Pioneer goal into the far corner. Yarborough over there. Yarborough and Cundiff trying to get it out of the far corner. Now Bukowski has it underneath the near circle in the Pioneer zone. Firing it out in front. That goes all the way top of the far circle. Warts with a shot that got blocked. Here comes Woodside, and she'll blast it all the way back deep. 8 minutes left to go. Well, 7:59. That will be icing and head back into the Pioneer zone. 4-2. Flint with the lead. As we are just about halfway through the third. Heben in to take the faceoff versus Esser in that far faceoff circle to Ravelli's right. Into the far corner. Portinga trying to knock that away. That's going to be a elbowing call. That at 7:54. And it looks like a penalty for Flint. An elbow. And into the box goes Esser. Although the last, second to last goal was a shorthanded goal by Flint. So they are dangerous when Pioneer has the extra attacker as well. Face off in the far face-off circle. Jof has it. Jof with a shot and then a save by Sullivan. Loose in the slot. Back as that will roll down the near boards right over center ice. Jof has it at her own blue line. Jof moving over center ice. Jof gains his own. Jof shot as Plater got a stick in the way. Jof underneath the near circle. Fires it out in front and Rosenfeld. Puck just wouldn't settle down for her as all the way back into the Pioneer end. Bukowski trying to get to it first. The puck into the far corner. Still in along the far boards. Portinga trying to get it out of the zone. Held in at the far point by Flint. Portinga gets to it in along the end boards. Trying to avoid Cole. There now Heben lifts it all the way down. And grabbed at the blue line by Lortz. Lortz over to Secord. Secord gaining the zone. 1:11 left to go in the Pioneer power play. Secord with a shot. Good save by Ravelli. Jof has it. Now that tip back. Top of the near circle. Bukowski fires it. That in along the far boards. Portinga trying to get to it. Portinga racing over her own blue line. Portinga moves it over. Here comes Rosenfeld. Rosenfeld has that knocked away. Right back to the Pioneer. Into the Pioneer bench it goes. 6:40 left to go here in the third. 46 seconds left in the Pioneer power play. 4-2. Flint with the lead. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle just outside the Pioneer zone. Welsh versus Fainter. That puck into the Pioneer end. Cundiff has it outside the near circle. Going, firing it, held in at the blue line. Secord trying to fire that deep, now picked up by Fainter down the far boards, trying to set it up for Bacallis, but that taken away as Secord sends it outside the far circle. Estella Young gets it back to the Flint blue line, but now here comes Flater. Flater gets it ahead. Welsh moving it, top of the near circle, now moved over high slot. Blast there by Secord, knocked down out in front into the far corner. Estella Young. Oh, there's a slip in all the way back. Intercepted at center ice, banked off of the near board. Here comes Flater. Flater sends it Off the dasher, now in along the far boards of the Pioneer zone. Estella Young trying to get it out there, held in at the far point. Still a battle, now back into the neutral zone. Esser has it as the power play has expired for Pioneer. Esser down the near boards over center ice. Esser has that poked away. Now Fainter has it in her own zone, trying to knock it away. Esser outside the near circle. Esser backhands it as that'll go all the way down the far boards of the neutral zone. 5:30 left to go here in the third. 4-2 lead by Flint. Cundiff has it top of the near circle of her own end. Yarborough trying to tip it away as that comes in front of the score box. Now moving it ahead, Fainter over to Bacallis. Bacallis, top of the near circle. Welsh trying to knock that away. Now here comes Flint the other direction. Cundiff trying to poke it, but Lortz moves it to the Pioneer blue line. Now in front of the Pioneer bench, Esser brings it into the zone. Esser feeds it outside the far circle. Estella Young into the far corner. Grabbed at the far point. Orts with a shot and a save by Ravelli. 4:54 left to go here in the third. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Again, we apologize. Our scoreboard assist got knocked out. Its power got knocked out over in the scorer's box. So I got the scoreboard right, but not the time. That knocked down in along the far boards, pulled back as Jof coming, trying to weave her way through traffic. Jof over her own blue line. Jof over center ice. Jof coming down. There's a shot and a goal. Jof gets it just inside that far post. And Jof makes it a one-goal game at 4:38. That is a goal for Pioneer. Jof with her second of the evening. And it's 4-3. Face off at center ice. Heben versus Esser. Puck down the far boards. Here comes Jof. Jof. Now Portinga trying to fire it. That grab by Flint trying to move it ahead. Down the near boards. Kung has it. Now Esser gains the zone. Knocked away right at the blue line. Seagar trying to move it in. Delayed offsides. Flint touches up and Jof has it underneath the far circle. Jof trying to feed it. That intercepted. Esser had it back to Bukowski and that into the near corner. Esser going back behind the Pioneer goal. Jof trying to pull that away. Jof trying to steer it. That back into the neutral zone. Grabbed and Secord firing it right back into the Pioneer end. Under 4 minutes left to go. And chipped outside the near circle. Pioneer feeds it. Here comes Heben. Heben into the zone. Heben trying to take a shot. Portinga backhands it in. It's a good save by Sullivan, but Portinga got the rebound, and it's 4-4 at 3:48. So Portinga from Heben. And we are now knotted up at 4. Last time Pioneers scored, it was just a few ticks over a minute where Flint answered back. We'll see what happens here. Cundiff coming down the far boards, poke checked away. Now Kyle moves it deep into the Pioneer end. Kyle chasing it into the near corner. 3:30 left to go. Chipped away by Ravelli. Grab, fired, and right in by Welsh. Hopefully that wasn't the announcer's curse there, as at 3:30, just 18 seconds later, Welsh gets the lead for Flint. And now it is 5-4, Flint with the lead. Flint takes momentum back, face off right at center ice with 3:30 left to go. Puck into the near corner. Now trying to feed ahead. Bacallis gets into the neutral zone. Flater all the way across. Now Lortz moves it deep into the Pioneer end. Jof chases it back behind her own goal. Jof moves it down the near boards over. Jof now over her own blue line. Jof over center. Jof trying to get past Flater. Flater moves it right back into the neutral zone. Fired in by Alexis Young. That covered up by Sullivan. 3:02 left to go. And that will be a whistle. Face off in the Flint end with 3 minutes left to go. Face-off is in the far face-off circle, that to the left of Sullivan. Esser in to take the face-off, Fainter on the other side. That puck in along the end boards, now picked up, back behind. Bukalis has it, back to the near point. Alexis Young with a shot, that went off of a defender. And Flint trying to move it the other way. Taken, Bukalis outside the near circle into the near corner. Now Flint feeds it, is that back into the neutral zone. That'll skitter and slide, saucer into the Pioneer end. Jove has it back behind her own goal, trying to get away from Bukalis. Or Bukowski, why am I saying Bukowski, forgive me. Now Cole has it on the far circle, knocked away. Now Cole with the shot, good save by Ravelli, backhanded shot. Ravelli knocks it right back behind. Esser trying to feed it out in front. That puck into the near corner. Pioneer trying to get it out of the zone. Now picked up. Lortz trying to fire it right back in. That puck at the far point. Woodside trying to get it out of there. There's a shot knocked down by Estella Young right out in front. Rosenfeld down the near boards and sent back deep by Esser. 1 minute, 47 seconds left. 1 goal lead, 5-4. As that puck will move on end all the way back into the Flint zone. Icing waved off, picked up by Secord. Secord in her own zone. Feeds it into the neutral zone. Racing ahead is Yarbrough. Yarbrough trying to get to it. Cundiff trying to move it out of the zone. Back onto that near circle. Blasted by Stella Young. Now Woodside trying to get it out there, but Secord has it. Secord underneath that far circle. Bouncing puck into the slot. That'll move outside the far circle. 1:11 left to go. 5-4. Flint with the lead. Flater has it. Top of the far circle. Flater. Over on blue line, Flater. Over center ice, Flater gains his own. Flater. Top of the near circle, trying to make a move. Cundiff steers that away with 55 seconds left to go. Flater into the near corner. Now Kyle has it outside the near circle. Flater with a shot that goes into the far corner. Walsh trying to get to it on that far circle. Now the puck steered behind by Kung. 38 seconds left to go. Pioneer trying to get this game tied up, but holding it in the zone. Kyle has it. Kyle with the shot steered away by Ravelli. Another shot by Kyle. Ravelli with the save. 27 seconds left. The puck in along the far boards, bringing it ahead. Here comes Cundiff. That puck loose right at the blue line. Now bringing it the other direction. Here comes Secord. Kyle trying to pull it away. Loose now. Heben fires it ahead. 10 seconds left. That puck will come and covered up by Sullivan with 7.6 seconds left to go. 5-4. Face off in the near face off circle. Pioneer calls a timeout. They want to talk it over. With 7.6 seconds left to go. So Pioneer trying to get this game tied up as they're down by 1. They have a face-off inside of the Flint end, but they don't have a lot of time to make something happen. If you're on offense, 7.6 seconds seems like a blink of an eye. If you're on defense, that seems to take forever as you have the lead trying to get it out of there. Pioneer coaching staff doing a good job talking things over and trying to set up this play to try and get this game tied and force a overtime. There's the whistle. As the squads will head out. Sullivan gets back into the goal. Flint has had two two-goal leads. Pioneers come back to tie it twice. And then Flint with the go-ahead goal, that at 3:30. Portinga to take the face-off. Important face-off. That grab by Jove. Jove into the slot. Shot there just goes wide. 2 seconds, 1 second. And that will do it. Pioneer, Greater Flint United wins this game 5-4. Pioneer making two valiant comeback attempts, but Flint able to hold on and get the win. For my camera person, James Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman again. I hope everyone has a most wonderful holiday season. We really appreciate you. Thank you very much to you for watching, for the teams for letting us cover them. We are very grateful for you all. We will return after the new year. For my camera person, James Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you and good night.